Expert in fucking, I don't know. Am I the asshole for telling my husband to stop disrespecting our surrogate?
No.
No, okay. Probably not by the sounds of it, but
By the sounds of it, I would assume.
let's hop into it
No.
and see how bad the story can get. Me, 34-year-old female, my husband Hunter, 37-year-old male, suffered from fertility problems. We recently decided to get a surrogate who's a friend of a friend. My egg was used, so no worries in this regard. Plus, our surrogate is a respectful, kind woman who's been keeping her part of the contract intact. But it's Hunter who's starting to act strange. I've noticed that he's been focusing all his attention on our surrogate, like skipping work to visit her or get her things she didn't ask for, chat with her all the time on social media, and constantly offer to do things for her, like drive her places, and sometimes even invite her out or offer to repair her stuff. She complained to me about this and even told me about things he's been doing that I didn't know about, like bringing her gifts. I tried to speak to him about what this looks like, but he said he's doing what he's doing for his son and not for her. Still, I asked that he tone it down and respect the woman's space. He got mad at me and accused me of being jealous of a woman who's carrying my own child and said that this makes me look bad. I said our surrogate was the one who complained about this behavior, and he said that it wasn't true at all. Apparently, this made him somewhat angry, so I gave him some time to cool down. Yesterday, our surrogate called me saying that Hunter came over and told her guests to leave. I asked why, and she said that he wanted to show her the $9,000 car he just bought for her.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Without talking to your wife, 9,000. I mean, that's cheap as far as car standards go, but I mean,
Sean's like, that's a deal. That's a deal in my mind.
that is a steely dealy, but you got to tell your wife you're spending $9,000.
I mean, they're
Oh,
already
yeah.
going to be covering her medical expenses. She's getting paid to be a
She's already
surrogate.
getting paid. Yeah.
John can't even convince his wife to buy a PS5.
Hey, yo, chill.
When I want to order burrito bowls, I have to ask.
If you want avocado, you have to ask.
Yeah.
That would be $1, sir.
You're over your budget.
That's $250 extra.
Fuck.
Yeah, so he bought this car for her. She then goes on to say, I was shocked. She said she declined the car and asked him to leave, but he started arguing with her about using public transportation and risking our baby's well-being. I was fuming. I called him demanding he get home, and he did eventually. Once he got back, I picked up a fight with him and yelled at him by saying he's been nothing but overstepping, disrespectful, and inappropriate towards our surrogate. Again, he explained the car wasn't for her, but to ensure that the baby's safe. I told him to stop disrespecting the woman and stop using the baby as an excuse to stomp all over her boundaries. He ranted about how he was just trying to make this work and that I should do the same, if not more. He even accused me of not loving our son as much as he does.
Oh, fuck that.
Brother.
No.
But this isn't the way, and putting $9,000 for a car without telling me? He left the house for a while, then came back and refused to speak to me. I might have been hard on him. He might have just been oblivious, so I'm less sure seeing his reaction now. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
No. My guy has zero respect for boundaries, respect for his partner and his wife and the surrogate. Like, goddamn, like how hands-on you gotta be for you to do that crap. That's too much. That is way too much.
Yeah.
I can understand to a point where it's like, oh, if the person carrying your baby is having a hard time with like struggling with money or struggling to maintain her living and helping her out, sure, I could understand that. But this is like a whole new level of what the fuck are you doing?
It's one thing to like, if she doesn't have transportation, to like drive her to appointments like that. I could understand. Like, I want to make sure you get to the checkups because it's important for your health and the baby's health. That's one thing. Buying her a goddamn car is a completely separate thing.
Yeah.
And the whole time you were telling the story, it reminded me of, what is it called? Now I'm going to forget the name of it, but it's the movie that had Ellen Page in it where she was pregnant.
Juno.
Thank you. It reminded me of the Juno relationship with the surrogate dad when they were going to adopt her baby. Like it
I forget.
was,
Did he like hit on her, or I forget what happened?
yeah, they got a little too close to crossing a line. He freaked her out and then he bounced and was like, I don't want a baby anymore. And then Jennifer Garner was like, but I do. And then they ended up still having the kid. But anyway, I got real bad things are
Is that Jason
uncomfortable.
Bateman vibes?
Yeah. bad Jason Bateman vibes.
Do we think his intentions were more? Like, do you think he was trying to?
I don't think he was trying to hit on her, but
You don't
I think
think so?
he's maybe. But you wouldn't yell at somebody, right? If you're trying to woo them.
Oh, well, I don't know if you've been on the dating scene. I've heard a lot of stories from my female friends who are in the dating scene. That happens more than you would think.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Well,
Why don't you want to date me? I'm an alpha male.
Fuck you. I didn't want to date you anyway.
I'm a nice guy, but my cock is huge and my parents are away. I'm also 39.
Oh
And
my
live in their
gosh.
basement, but it's cool because I decorated it myself with my adult money.
Yeah, I think he may actually be doing it for the baby, but he's like doesn't respect his spouse enough to like include her in decisions for the baby. All of this should have been like
Disgust.
went through the wife and discussed prior.
Yep.
Like you don't drop $9,000 without telling your spouse.
No.
I don't care if I don't know what the situation is, even if he's like only technically the breadwinner of the family, that doesn't matter.
No.
You're still in a marriage. Your lives are one, essentially.
Mhm.
So you can't just be fucking $9,000. Can you imagine if my wife found out I just spent $9,000? Oh my!
I share $50 with my husband. Like if I am going to be spending more than $50 on something, I tell him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we share finances. Like
Damn, I don't do that. Mine's completely
well,
separate.
well, and he does the same thing too. Like if he's going to be spending more than $100, he's like, "This is what's going on."
Yeah. You just let your spouse know what
Mhm.
you're
Yeah, just
purchasing.
communicate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if it's a big thing or a little thing. You just say, hey, I'm going to buy this. And then, I mean, obviously a car is more of a discussion, but if you're like,
Yep.
Yeah, a huge discussion.
yeah, for your surrogate, not even for like, I don't understand,
I
but
bought this for our son.
yeah,
He can't drive it for another
You can't-
several
16
years.
years. Yeah.
Don't you feel like it's super counterintuitive? Like he's trying to do all these things to possibly unstress her, but in reality, he's really stressing the fuck out of her for
Yeah.
the surrogate
Yeah.
to the point that it's like, yo, I'm uncomfortable. You
Chill.
need to chill. Like I'm carrying your kid.
Yeah.
Don't stress me out.
And I'm gonna try and play devil's advocate here. So he was what, 37? He's 37 years old,
Yeah.
and they haven't been able to conceive, and it's their first kid. It's entirely possible he's doing what he thinks is right to make her comfortable, to make sure nothing happens to the baby. But the way in which he is doing it is not okay. It's one thing to be like, can I give you something? Can I get groceries for you?
Yeah.
Take her to appointments, things like that. That's fine. Maybe not buy her a car. That's
Yeah, don't
just
kick her guests out and give her a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you
Eesh.
make a good point. I do feel for him in a certain way because they've clearly been dealing with this for a while.
Mhm.
This sounds like it was their last
Try. Yeah,
their last plan. Yeah,
Yeah.
try.
Mhm.
So I could see in a way why he's so obsessive. Maybe he's just really, really worried that it's not going to work out. I know a lot of people with fertility issues have a lot of miscarriages. So maybe he's just really cautious and has experienced too much. So I maybe not the asshole, but you know,
No.
No, he's still an asshole. Don't get me
nah.
wrong.
He's still an asshole, but like a well-intentioned asshole.
sure. I think he's just
Yeah.
going to pull his head out of his ass.
There
Yes.
you go. I think he sees the whole surrogate thing as an investment, and he's trying to just protect the asset. So he's trying to pour resources on the asset, but he's approaching it like an asshole. That's what he's doing.
Mhm.
I know you did that to be a pun, but that is disgusting if he looks at both of them as objects.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
All right. So I think most of us are saying either asshole or being kind of asshole-ish in this scenario. If not to the surrogate, definitely to the wife for disrespecting both of them.
Especially
and
by
being-
saying that she doesn't care enough.
Yeah,
That's
true. We didn't talk about
trash.
that enough. Yeah, you're right. He is an asshole. You're correct. Expert in fucking, I don't know.
Great power.
For the fifth time, it's your boy Sean.